My wife texted from her trip. "Are you feeling lonely?" I replied, "I miss." The message arrived at 11:47 p.m. I was sitting alone in our bedroom, staring at the empty side of the bed when my phone vibrated. It was my wife, Emily. She had been away for 4 days on what she called a girls' trip with her friends. Her message was simple. "Are you feeling lonely?" I stared at those words for almost a minute. Then I typed, "I miss." I stopped. I could have written, "I miss you," but something inside me whispered that I should wait, so I sent only those 2 words. Emily immediately replied, "You miss what?" I smiled sadly. "That's what I'm trying to figure out." She didn't answer. Instead, the typing bubble appeared, disappeared, then appeared again. Finally, she wrote, "You've been acting strange lately." I almost laughed. Strange? For months, Emily had been coming home late. She kept her phone face down, started locking it with a new password, and suddenly became protective of every little detail of her life. Whenever I asked if something was wrong, she said I was being paranoid. So I stopped asking. I started watching. And what I discovered changed everything. 3 weeks before her trip, I had noticed a hotel receipt in her purse. The date was a Tuesday. She had told me she had worked late that night. The hotel wasn't near her office. It was 25 miles in the opposite direction. I didn't confront her. Instead, I took a picture of the receipt. Then, a few days later, I saw a man's name flash across her phone. Daniel. I knew Daniel. He was one of her coworkers. At least, that's what she had always called him. That night, I finally asked her, "Are you and Daniel more than friends?" She looked at me for 3 seconds. Then she laughed. "Seriously? You're accusing me of cheating?" Her reaction hurt more than any answer could have. "No," I whispered. "I'm asking." She walked away. "Then trust me. I wanted to. God, I wanted to. Because I still loved my wife. That was the worst part. Now, sitting alone in our bedroom, I looked back at her message. "Are you feeling lonely?" I typed, "I miss the woman you used to be." This time, she didn't respond for almost 10 minutes. Then, "What does that mean?" I answered, "It means I miss my wife." She called me immediately. I didn't pick up. A minute later, another message arrived. "Please answer." Then, "I'm serious." Then, "Don't do this tonight." That sentence made my heart stop. Don't do this tonight. What exactly was she afraid I would do? I opened our shared tablet. Emily had forgotten to log out of her email. I had never looked through it before. But that night I did. And there it was. An email from Daniel. Subject to tomorrow night. My hands started shaking. I opened it. "I can't wait until you're back." I hate pretending we're just coworkers. "After everything we've shared, you know what I want." There were more messages. Months of them. Hotel bookings, secret dinners, photos, promises, and finally one message from Emily. "I love him, but I don't know how to leave my husband." I leaned back in my chair. For a few seconds, I couldn't breathe. The woman I had built my life around had been planning another life with someone else. Then my phone buzzed again. "Emily, please tell me what you meant when you said you miss." I looked at the screen. This time I knew exactly what I wanted to say. I typed, "I miss trusting you." She called again. I answered. There was silence. Then she whispered, "You know." It wasn't a question. "Yes." Her breathing became shaky. "How long?" "Long enough." "I can explain." "No," I said quietly. "You already explained everything in those messages." She started crying. "It wasn't supposed to happen." "But it did." "I was lonely." I closed my eyes. "So was I." She became silent. "You were lonely," I continued. "And instead of telling me you found someone else." "I was lonely too, Emily. The difference is I stayed." She cried harder. "I made a mistake." "No," I said. "A mistake happens once. You made a choice every time you met him. Every time you deleted a message. Every time you looked me in the eyes and told me nothing was wrong." There was another long silence. Then she asked the question I'd been expecting. "Do you still love me?" My eyes filled with tears. "Yes." She gasped softly. "But loving you doesn't mean I have to stay." The next morning, Emily came home early from her trip. She walked through the front door carrying her suitcase. But the woman who had left 4 days earlier was gone. She looked at me with red, swollen eyes. I don't want to lose you. I looked at the wedding photograph hanging on our wall. I already lost you, I said. I just didn't know when it happened. She stepped closer. I stepped back. And for the first time in 10 years, I realized something painful. Sometimes the person you miss the most is not the person standing in front of you. Sometimes you miss the version of them who never betrayed you.